Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mount Tammany Ridge channel. So today's dilemma actually began about a week and a half ago or so. I had a fatality in the wood yard. My tripod is no longer, so it's been a little bit difficult trying to do some video work and creating some content for you guys without a tripod. You're on the mag mount now, stuck to my toolbox with the GoPro, and we all know how we can trust GoPros to not delete any of our content before we actually get a chance to turn it into content. So the tripod that I have, I've had it in a closet for quite a lot of years. It's actually originally was my parents' tripod. They used to, when I was just a little guy, probably basically a toddler, my parents dabbled a little bit and making video content for people's weddings and things like that and special events. So that was a shooting star kind of thing. Once my sister and I were in the picture, it was really hard for them to get out and do stuff like that. So that kind of went to the wayside permanently. And that's the only thing I believe we have left of all their old video equipment. So because it is so old, it's still a nice stout. It's very sturdy. But it's old, and the company that makes it is called Slik. I believe that's S-L-I-K. So I've been looking around. I can't seem to find any sort of like adapter plate, to update it to the newer stuff that we use today. So kind of left to my own devices here. So looks like I'm going to try to DIY a little bit of an adapter of my own, and we're gonna see how this goes. So wish me the best of luck here. If I had like a little Harbor Freight, a mini lathe and things like that, this would be far easier for me to do. However, I don't have such things, so I'm going to have to get a little creative here as to how to, get this to come together. I was almost tempted to yank out my welder. However, there's a few things in the way. We got a door that we got to put in the house soon. That's kind of in front of it. There's a whole bunch of other random fishing stuff stacked in front of it. So I'm going to try to do this taking material away from something I already have rather than adding material or sticking two pieces of metal together. So wish me luck. Here we go. All right, so here's the mount for the tripod. The orifice, yes, I said orifice. Gosh, I don't know if you could see, maybe you could see it there. So that hole there, right, is where I need to create an adapter for. And on this side, there's it's a lever, it's a switch, so it releases and locks, and it also flips around this way to lock as well. So I guess that's really where I have to start, is this lever here is not important. I could literally rip this out and have it not be important, because it doesn't appear that there's anything out there that I could adapt to this. So basically the adapter that I want to make here is going to be current. It's going to be usable for all the current stuff that's out there. So Now, I have to take some measurements of this, and what I have here is a dial caliper, sorry, and it's good for up to 6 inches. Okay, you can see here. This measures OD and ID. So ID is inside diameter and OD is outside diameter, and it also measures depth. Okay, so that little tip there, okay, there's also measurements here, okay, up and down through here, that I can measure. So from here to this flat lip here, this ridge, I guess you could call it, where the body of the measuring device is, that space that this drops down in any hole, you can use that to measure the depth. Okay, so let's see, what do we got here? We've got 3/4. It's hard to say. Let's see. So we're looking at it's a little bit less than 3/4. So I'm not real. Yeah. So I mean, it's actually the dial with the needle isn't exactly. This is a Pittsburgh device, so I mean they're good, they're handy, but they're not going to be something that maybe a machinist might use. But it's showing here 3/4. Okay, just shy, literally. I mean, yeah, I mean it's pretty much a 3/4 hole. All right, so I have this bolt here. Okay, this something left over from a truck repair I did many years ago for maintenance and replacing said things. Okay, so that's 3/4. So, and that 3/4 is to the threads. So if I tried to, part of my brain said, you know what, let's just kind of use the plastic to tap threads into with these threads. I was gonna just heat this up with a torch, get it real hot, and then just thread it down into the hole. And I think that'd probably work for the most part. But the problem is the hole. Okay. Let's see. The hole is a little over 7/8 of an inch deep. Okay, now that bolt is way longer than 7/8. So if I were to do that, I would have to cut this down, okay, and you know, get to welding. So my goal here is, what I want to do is I want to cut this hex head off, okay, and I'm gonna grind down these threads a little bit, okay, just basically make the threads almost completely go away so that it'll slide down in here. Okay, and then what I want to do is, after I cut the head of this bolt off, I want to actually mill this down, okay, in a very rudimentary manner. I want to mill this down and tap some threads on it to accept the camera device that I had bought that I would like to mount on here. So that's the direction we're going. I don't know how it's going to go. It might go horribly, but it could go surprisingly well. We'll just have to see and cross our fingers. Here we go. we are there now. Okay, so we are there, and pretty much the perfect depth as well. So that's good. All right, so now the other measurement we need is from the bottom of this device. And this is, I guess, where the device reveal comes in. Okay, just give me 2 seconds. So the device is a gimbal. Okay, so I'm trying to remember what the heck is the brand. I don't even know how to say it. It's an iSteady. The model is an iSteady Mobile Plus, and the brand is like you would think it would say it on here somewhere. Well, I guess I'll just have to get back to you on that detail, but anywho, so far it's a neat device. It's definitely cool. It also comes with an app that you put on your phone, and it makes it so that you can put this on a tripod and this will follow you. So you can either track objects or you can track, with facial recognition. Now the facial recognition thing is kind of a thing that's it's sort of it's been around. People have known about the possibility for a while, and the thing I like most about it, believe it or not, is the object tracking by object recognition. Okay, so basically you go on the screen, okay, and when you push the option for object recognition or object tracking, okay, you can take your finger and scroll across the screen on an angle, and basically it populates a box of the overall object that you want it to follow. So skid steer, and your hand, for instance, right? I like that, because if I'm talking about something and I'm talking about a specific object that's off screen, I can go like this across and out of the screen, which in a normal camera would be out of focus and out of screen, but the camera will follow my hand, okay, as I'm pointing to whatever it is that is out of, immediate frame, which is awesome. So I've been tinkering with it a little bit today. It's been kind of fun. So now to the next step, and we need to find out what size this is. Now, prior to kicking the camera on, I believe I found the tap. The tap, I think, is a C20. Okay, so I've got the die here. Okay, this is a die for a tap and die set, and looks like the size is 1/4 inch NC20. All right, so the goal here is to get it so that after I cut the head of this bolt off here, the dark part where I didn't grind yet, I'm hoping to, well, a long way around, grind that down after I cut the head off to a diameter close to, try to get it close to that 1/4 inch, so I can use this die to tap that size thread on here, in hopes that I might be in my junk bolt, nut and bolt bin, be able to find a nut that I can also put on here and use kind of as a jam nut per se. So let's get on to the next step here, and I guess that's breaking out the right angle grinder with a cutoff disc on it, and we're gonna get this cut down to where I think I need it to be. So let's get at it. All right, well, can't seem to find my my mask, my spark deflector, so I'm gonna have to hope and pray that I can see through my welding helmet, so that'll work. But all right, so I'm gonna get to cutting through this thing. You guys can watch, but I'm leaving it up to you guys. It's your responsibility to be on fire watch. Okay? You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. Because that could be bad. So, pay attention. Alright. Well, so far so good. I don't see any smoke anywhere. My garage is definitely not set up for doing this kind of stuff. So, yeah. Really don't care to be drilling into, or I mean grinding or cutting in here. All right, so while I was cutting this, I got to thinking, I wonder if it would be smarter for me to drill and tap into this and then run a bolt in to do that. But before I commit to that idea, that concept, which I think would, as long as I can get a nice straight hole and down into there, that is, I think that might be the better way to do it, if, and only if, I can find a bolt here that's got the right thread pitch. So, yeah, just give me a few moments and see what I can come up with. Not kidding, maybe a matter of, I don't know, 45 seconds, right? Look at this. Oh, that blows me away. I cannot, literally, it was the first bolt I picked up. I looked at it, I said, hey, that looks about right. Gave it a shot, and wouldn't you friggin' know. Unbelievable. So that's good. That is really good. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully I can make this come together easier than I thought. You know, put a little bit of Loctite down there, get that thing locked in there nice and good. Maybe use, again, if I can find a nut, use a nut on there as a jam nut. And then, yeah. See what happens. All right. So I just got done cutting this down a little bit more. I used some blue masking tape to see it here. Used some blue ooh, that's still hot. Used some blue masking tape to give myself a nice cut. That way I had a good reference mark to try to make it so that it cut as square as possible. So the next thing is to drill down, and I kind of was ahead of myself. I grabbed my drill bit kit from Harbor Freight that I bought. It's just a titanium stuff. So I was going to use this, but I just realized that my tap and die set comes with the proper drill bit for the task. All right, so this is a spring-loaded punch, okay? It's designed to, it's got a sharp tip on there, well, relatively sharp. So it's spring-loaded. So when you push down, it snaps and it puts a little tiny dimple there. And I usually do it sometimes 2-3 times to make sure it's a decent enough dimple so that it prevents my drill bit from wandering around. It can stay right where I want it. one more. Okay, the reason why I'm tapping that, the friend of mine was over helping one day, and he did not know this was a spring-loaded center punch. So he took a hammer and he wrapped it real hard, and the pin stuck in. And I got panicky and kind of bummed, thinking, oh my God, I'm never gonna be able to use it again. And so what I did was I kind of tapped it like that and it popped back out. So unfortunately, ever since then, I've had to do that. Normally it doesn't do that. Or I should say, when you buy it from the store, it's not supposed to do that. Boy, oh boy, I hope that's... Okay. Thought maybe there was a piece broken off the end of that bit. That would have been a real bummer. Yes, WD-40 is all I got. It's not what I prefer to use for cutting oil, but it's what I got. So yeah, typically I try not to use high RPM, well, with these bits specifically, because they're not designed for high RPM cutting. Anybody who's spent at least a little bit of time in a machine shop has been taught that, you know, stuff that's in a machine shop is not always high RPM, and I've done a lot of drilling with lower RPM, more torque in a metal shop than I did anything else. Now, milling machines and lathes, that's quite a bit different. So this here, this is the tap, okay? This is what you would put threads in a hole with, okay? And this is what you would put threads on, say, a piece of round metal stock that does not have threads. You would use this to put threads on it. And this is the coinciding die for this tap. All right, so I'm gonna get to tapping this out here. Now the reason why I keep going, you know, back and forth or clockwise and then counterclockwise is I'm trying to clean out the debris. You might have noticed in the camera when I was showing you this tap that there are what they call fluted sections on there. They go from the tip of the shaft most of the way up through the tapping portion of the bit. And those grooves, flutes, are to clean out debris, so that the debris has somewhere to escape. And when I go backwards, it breaks that debris loose, the shavings of the metal that it's producing, and drops it straight down and out of the way of the cutting path, the path of the cutting teeth. All right, I'm gonna back this out, see how far down I made it. Kind of feels like I'm hitting the bottom with the tip. Okay, let's see. Oh. Hard to see down in there. Grab the handy dandy iPhone. Looks like I've made it down as far as I can, I think. It's hard to say. There's some some stuff in there. Some WD-40. Looks like I made it down there pretty good. I'm gonna run it down there gently. Again. You see how easy it's going in there now. Yeah, that's definitely at the bottom for certain. So what I'll wind up doing is I'm going to bring this over to the compressor, and I'm going to blow some pressure air down in there. See if I can clean out any metal shavings that might be down in there. And then we can test out the bolt that I found. We'll have to see how this goes. Hopefully this isn't still crazy hot from what the heck I'm doing there. Lefty loosey dummy. Back in 2 seconds. All right, so here's the moment of truth. We'll have to see if these two will work together. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Looky, looky. All right, it's not perfectly straight, but again, like I said, this is a garage DIY solution to not having to go and spend a ton of money on a tripod. Whoops. It's a broke. No, I'm just joking. So there it is. There it is. So obviously not complete yet. Let's try it here in the tripod. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Now I need to decide, do I want to try to do something to this slug here to make it so that this switch flipper thingy, cam lock, you could call it, I guess. It was like the early years of quick release, right? So it's got a little bit of a spring-loaded thing in there, and there's a pin that shoots in and out. So I wonder, maybe, if I tap, or I should say not tap, but drill a hole in the slug so that that pin can go through here, and bippity boppity boo, Bob's your uncle. All right, so the top of the hole, or the pin, okay, is about a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to give myself a center mark. 1/2 inch is to the top of this measuring device, where the tip is, right here, where the marker is. And where the chassis of this measuring device is the bottom of the slug. So I'm putting a mark just shy of that 1/2 inch measurement. So that's where I'm going to put my center punch and hope that it's a bullseye when I drop that thing down in there. Now, I didn't want to take the index to measurement from the top of the slug, because the top of the slug, when you push all the way down into that cavity, it actually drops down just a shade below the grippy pad on that camera base. So wanted to make sure it was going to be from a consistent location. Where are we? There we go. That's a better spot for sure. Okay. And because I have a 1/4 inch bit on there already. All right. Let's get it lined up roughly. Where is that? That way? This way? Okay, that way. Okay, I think we're there. Almost. Well, it's locked. Is it just because it's sort of kind of out of alignment? Make sure I'm gonna have to, I think that drill bit's gonna have to be, it's locking, but it's not like fully engaging. So I'm gonna have to drill that hole, I think, a bigger diameter. Let's try that. Okay, silly me. I got it, but I forgot I didn't have the camera on. So I'm gonna do it again. So we'll unlock it, slide it out. Coo wheel. All right, put it down in there. Jiggle it. Oh, look at that. It actually went right in. Didn't have to, I lined it up perfect that time. So that works out great. Oh, look at that. I can even, oh, no way. Look at that. What? See how it's a little bit loose? I don't know if you can see that. Like kind of up and down and all that. When I turn the cam this way, locks it in snug as a bug. Wow. I did not see that coming. Now I understand how the whole thing works. That's pretty awesome. So I engineered and re-engineered all at the same time. Hey. So, okay. Well, now I want to try to explore making this maybe a little bit better. I would like to see if I can get a real thick washer. I know I've seen them around here. I don't know if there's any around anymore. With a very small hole in the middle. And then maybe tap that hole in the middle. If I can find one with a 1/4 inch hole, and then tap it, I can use that as sort of like a jam nut, but a plate, jam nut style plate, or plate style jam nut. Don't know. I guess plate style jam nut would be the word. Or phrase? Whatever. Anywho, so that's what I'm going to look for now. So let's see what I can come up with, if anything at all. Okay, so this is what I found here. Okay, now I found this. It's like a rubber bushing. Okay, and looks like a I don't know, 3/8, maybe bigger. I think it's probably like a 3/8 hole. It's obviously not a 1/4 inch. Okay. But just hear me out, okay? So my thinking is that I can cut this down, okay, and make a spacer, well, can't talk today, words are hard, a spacer, okay, that is also a cushion, right? So it's a bushing. So, and it also happens to fit perfectly inside. There's like a lip around here. It fits perfectly in there. So as I go to tighten this down, I don't have to worry about the timing of the threads stopping the rotation of this and a weird angle to the so you got the lever here, the handle to swing and operate the slew and the pitch, the angle, tilt, whatever you want to call it, on the tripod. So I can kind of come up on it and then snug it down and be good with it. So let's see where this goes. All right, hopefully Mr. GoPro isn't destroying everything I'm doing here, all my efforts. All right, so I'm protecting the threads here because I'm going to be heavily relying on these threads to work properly. This camera device, and as many other camera devices, also are the same. They use like a brass thread a lot of times, and brass is pretty vulnerable when it comes to the threads getting marred up. So I want to be sure that I don't screw those threads up. Now, I did try to find a nut that'll fit these threads. To put on there before I started cutting so I could chase them. And I backed the nut off, but we're just gonna have to see what I can do here. I'm usually pretty good with getting the threads to cooperate, but using a nut to chase the threads is ideal. I probably should have named the name of this YouTube channel is Not Ideal Farm, because it's never ideal. Conditions are never ideal. So looks like it's coming together okay. I just need to get in there with a triangular file, if I can find one. I know I had one around here. Give me a few minutes and I'll try to see what I got. So I was pretty confident that I had a triangle style file out here just recently, but I guess maybe I was mistaken. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get these threads good enough to go into the slug side rather than the side that goes into the camera. Okay, because I know these are going to be good and safe, and these, well, once they're in the slug, I don't intend to take them out of the slug ever again. Of course, through the duration of this project, I'm probably going to have it in and out a couple times, but couldn't find the file, so I'm going to use my Gerber here. This thing has pulled me out of the fire. I can't count how many times, to be honest. I may have said it in a video before. There was a couple of guys at the yard that at the lumber yard that kind of giggled a little bit when I showed up to work with this thing, and this thing has become very handy. Try to see. Okay, very gently clamp this in. Actually, well, maybe I'll use this one. It's a little more gentle. Looking pretty good. It's not a normal practice of mine to saw, so to speak. I don't typically saw with my file, but my vision in here is terrible. I can hardly see anything. I don't want to lose my spot and mess up the threads. Okay, let's see what I can do with the slug. Will it thread? Yes, it will. Okay, cool. All right. It's precisely what I was looking to do. Didn't you know? Okay, so the next thing here is we got to get this in the slug, and then we got to start working on getting the depth of this rubber isolator to the right depth. So now you can see, or can't you? There's only a little bit of thread showing there. So I would like to cut this isolator down maybe, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch, because the depth of that threaded brass piece on the bottom of that camera is not, it's really not very deep. So you know what, I might try, because I did find a 1/4 inch, but that sure is ugly though. Let me try to find another one of these washers, slightly larger than a 1/4 inch size hole. See if I can find another one of these to put on here as like a squash kind of thing. Let's see what I can do. All right, so these are not 1/4 inch, but they are shiny. So I think I'm going to use these. I'm going to put one down on the base, down by the slug, and I'm going to put one up top where the camera post mounts, and yeah, I think it'll dress it up a little bit. It's just a little bit bigger in diameter than the slug itself, and yeah, I like that. Also, the other thing I found before was so this is what they call a what do you call it, a riv nut. Okay, so this is threaded. You drill this size hole, say into a piece of sheet metal, firewall of a car to mount something, and then there's a special rivet gun that threads into here, and you crimp it like this. You squeeze the handle, and this collapses and flares out and crushes on both sides, I guess, of the sheet metal, and clamps it there. So you have a threaded, something threaded into the sheet metal to bolt something to. And they use a lot of things like this, you know, building, you know, parts of, you know, dune buggies, and I'm not so sure about snowmobiles. Maybe. I know there's a lot of rivets on snowmobiles, but I'm not sure that they might have some of these on some sleds. But enough of that. squirrel chasing. Let's cut this this rubber bushing down. See what we can do. Not too bad. It's not awful. Not great either, but... So if you're curious, this insulator isolator kit is from a diesel tank mounting hardware that I got. Diesel tank I bought from Tractor Supply. And so I'm putting that in the middle. Happens to fit perfect. Use that as like a little bit of, I don't know, extra support. So let's see how this goes. Try to put all this stuff together and hope that maybe maybe I did good. We'll see. All right. Step numero uno. Come on now. Gotta tighten that so I don't get spinning on me. There we go. Tighten it. Snug as a bug. Put this on. All right. Got that. Looks like about a 1/4 inch of thread sticking out there. Hopefully it's not too many threads. And we will see what happens here. Is it threading on? It's threading on. Hopefully it'll start snugging down on this rubber grommet. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Ha! It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Would you look at that? Great googly moogly. I've done it. I have done it. Ha ha! All right, let me give you a little bit of a zoomed out view. Yup. So I daggone gone and done it. Look at that. Huh. Man. To be honest with you folks, I wasn't really sure if this was going to turn into anything, you know. Every once in a while, my light bulb's burning brighter than usual. I have been known to tinker around the garage, you know, kind of, you know, build things, you know, kind of out of the blue. But all those things are really never any different than today's project, right? Some of them are bigger, some of them are a little smaller than this. But, you know, in the beginning of those projects, I never really know where it's actually going to go as far as the level of success that I may or may not reach. Today, I'm very happy with the results. I should have done this a long time ago, you know, and honestly, laziness was the only thing getting in the way of me having this tripod adaptable to other camera devices. So yeah, this is pretty darn cool. Very, very happy with the results. I'm going to bring the camera in here for a little bit more of a close-up so you can see what all this kind of looks like up close. All right. All right, so here we are. Okay. Those chrome washers are complements of past Harley projects that we've had here on the farm. Nothing crazy, just, you know, a lot of bolt-on accessories and you know, kits to shave off unwanted parts of the bike, you know, that, you know, were factory. And you know, we have stuff laying around. We got seats, exhaust systems, all kinds of things. laying around from our previous motorcycle endeavors. So like I said, this tripod brand is Slik. That's S-L-I-K, and it's a pretty cool tripod. So I guess the model actually is a it's called Universal U, looks like dash 102. I think that's a dash. Yeah, it's a dash. So it's old. It's an old tripod, but it's a sturdy one. I'm sure it's, you know, not anything special compared to what's out there today that Slik has to offer. But this is very cool. Very, very cool. Very happy. So anybody watching this video, like I said, this is just kind of a DIY sort of, you know, what you might do if you're in my situation and you happen to be a little bit handy. This is the kind of stuff that you can kind of come up with off the cuff. All right, everybody. So here you guys are. You're on the new tripod, using the gimbal with the app that allows the camera to track me. Right now it's on facial recognition, and it's pretty cool. Now, I mean, on my end, I feel like it's cool, right? You know, like when I walk around, you know, I can talk to you guys, and you know, it's like having a second person in the room with you, helping you do all this stuff. Now, I want you guys, okay, to give me some feedback on the content that I make with this electronic device, okay? Let me know what you think about it. Does it, like when I do this type of stuff, okay, how does it look on your end? I mean, does it look like, is it getting you sick, right? You getting motion sickness? You know, just kind of give me an idea of how you feel about it. Do you like it? So, but yeah, so you guys are on the new device. So hopefully this is going to be handy down the wood yard. We'll have to give it some tests and see how it works. As far as you know, when I'm out there tripping over logs and rounds and stuff like that in the wood yard, my question is, am I going to need object recognition, okay? Or is facial recognition going to be a problem because it literally needs to see my face, right? So talking here in front of the camera all seems fine. So I'm happy that it has the object recognition. It does seem to follow like a mass, because object recognition is kind of one of those things. I don't know if, you know, my profile from the side is going to be different than my profile from the front. Is that going to throw that thing off? So it will be very interesting to see how that all plays out in the field, so to speak. So I want to thank you guys very much for hanging out with me here in the Mount Tammany Ridge. I know this is going to be a little bit different content. Some of you other content creators might be interested to know in what this thing is. I will try to put in the description what the brand is, what the model is, okay, of the, not so much the tripod, because that's going to be kind of irrelevant. I might be the only one on the planet with this thing left. However, you know, this gimbal with this tracking software is pretty darn awesome. So far, so good. We'll have to see how it all plays out. But if you like the content you see here on the Mount Tammany Ridge channel, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video.